citizens to vote. A couple of months ago, there was a 96-year-old woman, a black woman in the state of Tennessee. Dorothy Cooper had voted all her adult life. Although she lived in Tennessee, she never missed a chance to vote. And yet, in 2010, that Tea Party election, I'm being gentle, that Tea Party election, Mrs. Cooper was denied the right to vote because they said her name on her voter identification card did not match the records they had. Now, back when she was born, she didn't get a birth certificate. And yet, although she had a government-issued photo ID from the local police department, that is a government agency, attached to the senior citizen home where she resided, that ID wasn't good enough for a 96-year-old woman. Miss Cooper was undeterred, and so she decided to fight back. We got on her side along with other civil rights organizations, and you know what? We were determined to fight for Miss Cooper. Miss Cooper had her voter registration reinstated so that she can vote. I cannot stress how important it is, ladies and gentlemen, to protect the right to vote. In my lifetime, I've seen the Supreme Court open doors and close windows. And after 2000, ladies and gentlemen, I think they're on a campaign with the Citizens United to make it very impossible for us to even have our voice heard in the electoral process. So we need you to fight, to help us, Virgie, to volunteer, to be at the polls on election day, to ensure that every eligible citizen will be able to cast his or her ballot. Let me say in closing, I learned a long time ago, working with Reverend Jackson, working with members of the civil rights community, the Congressional Black Caucus, the Congressional Women's Caucus, but there was one thing that I would never compromise on, and that was my freedom, my dignity, my principles, my right to vote. Last week I was in Tampa, Florida with the Republican Convention. And this was my third Republican convention, so ladies and gentlemen, I know a little bit about the Republican Party. I've been at 10 Republican debates. And at times, I used to think to myself, I need to do something else with my life. So being there reminded me of why I'm in this fight and why I'm in this battle. One of my colleagues, a young woman, a young black woman from the state of Alabama, she's a camera woman. Some of you might have heard that she was pelted with peanuts and told that this is how we feed our animals back home. She is a woman of dignity, a Christian woman, and so therefore, ladies and gentlemen, she is not one of those people that just want to go out there and make this a story, but Roland Martin and I and other colleagues have seen them be embraced and be hugged, and we said, we got your back, you going back out there. At this convention, ladies and gentlemen, let us be reminded of who we are as Americans. We are Americans. We're diverse. We come from all ages and backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, religions. We stand up for the American principles and ideals, not only founded in our Constitution, but also it reminds us of what's in our own hearts. Let us treat one another with respect and dignity. I know we will do that. We are not going to resort to, we want to take back America. We want to reclaim the American promise for every American. Yes. So let us have a wonderful week here in Charlotte. Let us resolve ourselves to go out there and fight this fall to win this race, not just at the top of the ticket. I'm never one to just go for the top, although I like icing. I'm going to the bottom up, ladies and gentlemen. So the bottom up. And with all due respect, whether you have a title, you're in charge. You have been deputized today to go back and run this race, finish this race. And just remember this. It's found in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9. Do not grow weary in doing good. For in due season you'll reap a harvest.
was Donna Brazile.